Okay, so let's look at how we should do the worksheets. Okay, so first thing, go to the Lolima site for our course and look under resources. In resources, there's a new folder called worksheets. Let's click on that. And we're going to go to worksheet 1. Inside of these folders, okay, when it opens up, there's a docx file, which is where you're going to put down the answers for the worksheet. And then so I'm going to just save this. Now, when I save this, I want to save it inside of documents on my computer. And I want to put it inside of ics100. Now, I have assignments and projects, but let's make a new folder for worksheets. So I'm going to click on new folder, then create a folder called worksheets, and just hit enter. Okay, and then I want to double click on that folder. So I just did that, and if you look, it's going to go in worksheets, which is inside of ics100. And so I just saved that. And that's where we want to put down our answers for the worksheet. The HTML file is where we look at the questions as well as a link to a web page that has the answers to the questions. Okay, so if I click on this link, okay, that's part of our web pages for this course. Okay, so there's being computer literate, being a savvy computer user. Okay, and then so let's go ahead and get that document. So in the file manager, I open up worksheets, and then I'm going to open up worksheet 1. So I double click on this, and then Word is going to start up. Okay, so there's the first question. What does being computer literate mean? Then, so what we're going to do, go back to the page, and it says being computer literate means that you have a good idea of what a computer can be used for, and you know how to get useful work done on the computer. Okay, and that's the main thing. You know how to get useful work done. You're not an expert. Okay, so I hit a return here, and it looks like it's adding another bullet to a number to the list when I hit a return. Oh, I had a little trouble because I didn't enable editing. So let me go ahead and enable editing. Okay, and click enter. And then it's going to add another number 2. So I hit a backspace. And when I hit the backspace, that 2 disappears and I can type in my answer. Okay, so this means that you know how to get useful work done on the computer. Okay, so you're not an expert, you can get useful work done. All right, why is it important to be computer literate? Okay, backspace there so that doesn't add an extra number. And then this is because many jobs require you to do some work on the computer. Okay, and also the more you know about how to use a computer, the better a tool it becomes to learning new things on the learning new things in general. Okay, it doesn't even have to be on the computer. Look at stuff on YouTube or whatever to figure out how to do something, or look at a web page to see how to do something. Okay, so it's a useful learning tool if you become computer literate. Okay, so that's another that's something to put down. Okay, so you look up the answers on the page, then you just type it in here, and you're going to submit that. Okay, so being a savvy computer user, you notice that they know how to avoid problems with, say, viruses, phishing scams, things like that. So here I hit a backspace, and then I'm going to type that in. Okay, so the answers to the questions on the worksheet, you don't have to write much more than a sentence or 2. They don't have to be really long answers. Just get the answers out from there. That does mean you need to go to those pages and read what's on there, but that's good because these are the kind of things you need to know when we have our exams. And so using computer in a safe manner so you don't get caught up with trouble and things like that, that basically is something that means you're a savvy computer user. Now, as you go along, save it periodically, okay, so that in case you lose power or the computer locks up, you at least have the work saved up until there. Okay, and then if you look back on the HTML page, we have a second page for worksheet 1, and that's on peripheral devices. Okay, so stuff outside of the system unit. Okay, so we got input devices, output devices. Input devices are things like keyboard and mouse. They put things into the computer. Computer pens, touch screen, microphones, those are all input devices. Okay, so when I ask what are some examples of input devices, okay, I hit a backspace there. Okay, then keyboard and a mouse. Okay, touch screens, microphones. Those are all examples of input devices. Okay, now the next question is, what is the most important input device? Okay, and so we go back to the page and look, and it says right here the keyboard is the most important input device. Okay, and that's because most data entry is done using the keyboard. Okay, some computers won't even start up if the keyboard is not attached. So the keyboard is the most important input device. Why? Because the keyboard is the main way of inputting data for most programs. Okay, so again, you go through the questions, you look through the answer, find the answers here, and then as you do this, when you get it all answered, then that's what you want to upload. If you're having trouble figuring out some answers, feel free to email me. But try to figure out these things here. Examples of output is a monitor, printer, speakers. Okay, those are all examples of output. Okay, I'm saving my work again here.